All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the episode 4 of our podcast. And as always, I'm here with the boys, Himal and Anda. So we're back after long, probably after like a 2 week long break. And we're back again. And hope this will not happen again. Hopefully.
Yeah,
But
hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully,
well,
yeah. And I think there's a lot to recap on throughout 2 weeks. So I'll hand the mic over to you guys. How was the week?
so I think I'll go first because Himal most likely doesn't have anything to say. So yeah,
Yeah,
this
I think we should
Bruh,
probably make
bruh,
this short though.
bruh.
it really feels like I'm doing the pod for the first time again. It feels that long, actually, even though it was just 1 week's break. The last time's break, it didn't feel so, so long, so disconnected, but like this break feels pretty long. Mostly because maybe it was the World Cup and I was pretty much really intensely focused on that. But like yeah, the last 2 weeks went pretty good. We had the World Cup 10 days Nepal versus UK. We are almost sure to win the round, and we'll be moving on to quarterfinals really soon. Other than that, it was Tihar. So yeah, we did a lot of
Uh,
fun in Tihar and Tas and stuff like that. Lost a bit, maybe like 3K or something. A bit more than that actually. And I guess yeah,
hey,
we
you
we
should
we,
be,
we played a
you
bit of.
should, you should be clarifying. Oh, one sec. You should be clarifying your stuff. 3K means 3K NPR.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
miss her. Yeah,
For
because audience might
international,
get it as a 3K dollars.
yeah, for
AD or
internet.
USD
All
or
right, all right,
something like
mate.
that.
For international audience out there,
Yeah,
is actually 3K NPR, which is equivalent to maybe like $30
$30.
AUD. AUD,
Fuck
yeah.
off.
Yeah, anyway, that was it. Didn't really play much Deuce Boilo this time because like we had some, Sutkira stuffs going on. So it was a bit sort of
Hmm.
not the fully celebrated Tihar. So yeah, that was it.
Hmm.
That's basically the recap of the last 2 weeks. What about you, Himal?
Hmm.
So for me, last 2 weeks has been last two weeks were so hectic, I guess. I didn't even knew when 2 weeks were like gone in a second because I had lots of assignments, deadline coming in, and then for all the units and exams and all stuff, and then I have to go to work, no day off, college, uni stuff, deadline, nothing much,
Yeah, the usual days.
and then horrible experience was like I got to work in a group work, and that was fucking I hate group work.
Yeah,
I don't
so
think I can
Hmm.
explain everything in pod because it will be more personal. So
it's
moving
okay, it's
forward,
okay.
I would like to give the mic to the host so that host can continue with the talk.
Actually,
Hey
we need to
host, you can
know. Wait,
continue
wait,
from
wait.
here.
We need to know what Chris did these 2 weeks as well, and then we'll move on.
Yeah,
Ah,
of course.
who cares? He just
So for me, it's been pretty interesting and pretty new, I guess, because I got my new phone recently, iPhone 15. So it's going pretty good. I didn't really want to be an Apple user, but the it's the ecosystem calling me, man. I don't know, AirPods, Apple, iPhone. I don't know, man. I'm gonna get a Mac soon? Question mark. Eh, But here for me was also pretty fun. I went to my senior's house and we did all the we were dancing, we were playing cards, poker. I mean, who plays poker, man? It's really fun though. But yesterday I won like 28 bucks.
Oh yeah, actually,
Pretty good.
just want to interrupt a bit. I learned marriage this year, this Tihar actually, and it's really fun. It's really challenging
Yeah,
actually.
married.
It takes a lot of mental effort to play that game, and it's really fun and challenging that way. But yeah, you can continue.
Yeah. And yeah, I've been going to the gym, doing the continuity part, and also the TED Talks are still going on. One TED Talk a day, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, the 2 weeks were pretty short. I mean, I didn't find it that long. I don't know why, but the 2 weeks were pretty over for me, especially because even though it was a festival season here, it was pretty much nothing. There's Halloween though. Halloween, I mean, see, Halloween is just a hyped up thing, man. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's
No, it's quite
especially in
fun.
my
It's
college.
quite fun. It's quite fun. I can
I mean,
explain.
it is supposed to be fun, but since I was roaming around my campus all day long, and there was literally
Yeah,
nothing. There were like one or
that's
two
that's the
people
reason.
dressing
That's the
up, and
reason,
that's
buddy.
it. I mean, like I was expecting something more, like all those trick and treats that they do. I think my roommates told me that they were too old enough to do trick and treats these days. Like it's all the kids who do those things, and literally there was
Not only
nothing to look
kids,
for.
like kids are celebrating this more, but like adults do participate because like they do like cosplay stuff, like face painting, wearing Halloween clothes, and then like every stuff like hotels and then bars, clubs, everything. They design they change their interior as like haunted stuffs, like skeleton hanging, and then like cobwebs all around the place. And then like even like
Uh-huh.
when I was working in the restaurant, like there were people, about 8 to 10 people. They were like wearing a sheep. They were like cosplaying sheep. I don't know what's the reason behind that, but like they were like wearing all black and face painting all black, and then like some fur. They were like sticking some fur to their body, and they were like bah, bah.
Trust
So
me, guys.
basically, it is
Mhm.
fun.
Trust me, TR is a lot better. Desi
Yeah,
Bajo is
Thea
a
is a
lot.
lot better,
Yeah.
but Halloween is fun too. Halloween is fun too, because if you go to the Kmart and stuff, then there is everything like skeleton and then like spider, cobweb, and people were like, whenever they're trying to go to club, hit club, and they were like, even I saw 3, 4 Spider-Man, Spider-Woman. They were like, they were like waiting,
Tis
and I was like,
tis.
yeah, yeah, and I was like, when I was like going through the way, and I was like, yeah, oh, Peter Parker, chises, and they're like, that's fun.
Hmm.
Mhm.
If you roam
Yeah.
around, then that's fun. If you just sit around your campus and then a typical room and then way to gym, classes, and then like cafeteria, that's boring. Yeah, I can understand.
Uh, so I actually
Oh,
had a
once again, I missed the point. I missed the point about my 2 weeks recap. Yesterday, I went to a cycling. Whoa, that was so really fun. That was really fun. Yeah, I actually
Yay!
missed it.
You
Yeah,
bought a
wow,
cycle
it
or
yeah,
was
something?
super
good for
fun.
you, man.
You bought a
Good
cycle
for
or
Yeah.
you,
something?
cycling in Australia.
Oh?
You bought a cycle or something? Or you
No,
rented
that's
rented that
free
out?
of cost. Free of cost. Free of cost,
Really?
buddy.
How?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got it from his
Because
friend.
like my friend is like planning to move from Perth to Sydney, and like he owned one cycle, and I was like,
Oh,
everything that
so
you own is now mine. And then like
all right.
I already take over the cycle, and then like we used to have all the cycle in the house too, and then I invited him, and we two went for a cycling, and it was
Really,
super
yeah.
duper fun.
The cycling is fun actually. We
It was
did that
so
in Singapore as well, and
refreshing, and then, like it was like actually like recreating Pokhara things, because I live nearby the lake, and then like roaming around the lake, everything, and then like
is there a lake
bars,
or you mean
restaurants.
sea?
Sorry,
Is there a lake or you mean sea?
what do you mean by ski?
Sea. You mean there is a sea nearby or there is a literal lake?
It's like Swan River. Like basically, it's connected to the sea, but it's river. But like
Oh,
it, the space is like it goes down, but like yeah, we basically follow the river and
Riverside,
getting
yeah.
down, and then, like
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
It makes
and
sense.
the riverside, and then getting to the stadium is and stuff like this. This was fun, super fun. Because it was my
Interesting.
day off, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
so
I
Yeah.
started changing my habits, getting into the good stuffs. I invest couple of $100 in myself, got myself dry fruits and stuff, and then like container, and
All
then
right,
yeah,
all
it
right.
was quite a
That
productive day last
that's
day.
out
Yeah,
of scope for the pod,
Yeah, I
right? All
think
right.
yeah,
We need to move
yeah,
on.
I think that's enough
because
recap for this session, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
But
let's
yeah,
dive into the real stuff, buddy.
yeah.
yeah. So, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? But I was having a talk with my roommate, and it was like late at 2 a.m. talks, and we are talking about religion. And we really talk about religion a lot. And I don't know if it's a good topic to bring up here, because I mean, everyone has their own opinions on religion, and people really get offended when we talk about religion. But since we're all from the same religion, like who cares? So we could just give our opinions on it. So what we were talking about, since he's a Christian and I am a Hindu, he was asking me stuff about the whole Hindu gods and how we have more than 100 gods, and even like we have a different day to like celebrate or remember different gods. Like I told him that there's a festival for Lord Shiva, there's a festival for Lord Ganesh, there's a festival for Lord Krishna, and I told him about what all these gods represent. And even he knew some things, some verses from Bhagavad Gita, especially from what he since he watched Oppenheimer. He
Oppenheimer,
knew
yeah.
some phrases of Shiva,
I am become
right?
death, the
And he was
destroyer of the
yeah,
God world or
yeah, he
something.
was
Yeah.
interested in it. And basically, since it was the time of Tihar, I also told him about the whole Lakshmi Puja thing and how we worship goddess Lakshmi, and how she is supposed to bring wealth to the family, all those rituals. And I asked him about Christianity, and he told me like there are two parts of Christianity. One is like the Jewish side, which is the Old Testament side, and the present Christianity, which is the New Testament. So there are different stories that they have. Different people believe different thing, but basically, in their religion, it's mostly based on human beings that actually existed, right? And this was long way back before like countries were they were fighting with each other, right? They were trying to rule each other. This was from way back. And I got to know how the whole there was a video like Bible in 10 minutes or something, and I got to learn about how since Jesus was born in Israel. Did you guys know, like
Yeah.
from he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
born
yeah.
in Jerusalem?
Is that
Yeah.
not the
And
that's the reason, right? With all the, Israel, Jewish, US supporting Israel and stuff like that, it has got to do with religion as well. Because Israel is the
yeah, I
holy
mean, I don't
place,
know about
holy
these
land.
days, because
Yeah, yeah,
I think there
Israel,
is
Israel
Islam
is
related there too.
no,
Like,
no, no. Yeah, it's about Christianity versus Islamic for Israel and Palestine, but Israel is considered the holy land for Christian people, I guess. So yeah, it has things to do with religion as well and stuff like that. But yeah, you can continue.
yeah, there's a different thing with Jewish and Christian people, but I don't know much about that. But what I got to know about is that there are these groups called Israelites, and they were in search of the one person who they thought would come in the form of God, and they were waiting for this one guy. And like throughout different generations, there were different people who were considered to be who were considered to be the next awakening of God, but they were all sin because of their actions. Like some of them married like 20 women, some of them married their own siblings, and so some of them they murdered their own siblings and all. So basically most of all of them were sinned before, like everyone before Jesus was sinned, and the ones who were considered to be the next form of God, right? But what I came to know was like Bible is a really not exactly Bible, but the whole Christianity is really amusing. Like since we get to know it from a human's perspective, and we get to know that they actually once existed, it's really like what do you call it? It's like watching, it's like listening to a psychological drama, but in real life, how people used to fight over things and all of those stuff, right? So basically, like what I wanted to ask you guys was why though? Like why were people so much in why do people wanted a different form of reincarnation of God? Like what was the need and why do they believe in these stuff? Like so why are they waiting for a new incarnation of God where they have their own life to live, they have their own things to do, but why was religion such a huge deal back in the days? I mean, even to this day, like religion is a big deal, right? But back in those days, like when people used to murder each other, they used to murder their own siblings and all. Like, why do you think religion is so fascinating, and why is it so hard to talk about it openly in the public?
Because as I know, this thing are like passing down from generation to generation, and then like this generation actually didn't knew a actual thing, I think, and then like they're just following what they're meant to be follow. So in terms of like
Yes.
having arguments and then like so much fucked up things, I can understand these things too because I have Muslim friends too. And then like when I asked one of my friends that I can be with you on your prayers, he was like, "Go and cut your and then you can be a Muslim, then you can join me." And that was so horrible because I told him like if you wanna join me with my worship, I can easily take you with me. And what's wrong if I join you guys? Like I just wanna see the process and then like what you guys actually do. I'm more about curious and then like they were like, but one of them actually led me and then like I went there and they are so disciplined, I guess, in terms of religion stuff. Muslim are at the top, I guess.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's like
basically, they're really
it's like
strict.
they're really strict, and then like they don't take these things as the like strict rules or stuff. They enjoy the process, you know. They're like this is the God's process, God's plans and stuff like this. So I am
Yeah.
basically I think I can call myself as a like religionless because I don't actually have like even if some people came and argue with me stuff about the Hindu, I won't argue
Mhm.
back like, you are talking bad about my Shiva, huh? Yeah, you're talking bad about my Ganesh, these stuff like this, because I don't actually
Would you
care,
defend
because
your religion like these
no,
days? Like, would you defend your religion
no,
if someone said bad about it?
no. Who cares, buddy?
Oh,
That's a third person. Just people, people can say whatever they like.
I mean, yeah, I think people
If
these
you,
days they have started to lean more into science. I mean, yeah, science and religion do go hand in hand, but people are having less faith in religion these days, and from the looks of it, it looks like people like there's no problem, but like we don't see any fights over religion these days. I mean, it could be there in the Middle East and all, but normally like
Except Israel and
people are over
Palestine,
it.
mate. The biggest war
Yeah, I
is
mean,
going
yeah,
on.
they have this long going war, but
no, it's like,
overall, like
uh,
especially in the US, like no one literally cares. Like, it's like you can talk shit about anything and no one would care unless they're really religious, you know?
Yeah, so I think I might want to give a
like
couple of things as well in this topic because yeah, got some things to say. So before we actually dive into defending religion or like talking about different aspects of religion, we need to actually if we look back, I think the whole concept of religion was made because people were basically hopeless and they needed something to cling
yeah,
onto. They needed something that they could
that's the
trust
excuse I think.
because
We
yeah,
can
there
think, yeah, excuse.
ultimately there is no point at all, right? So they are trying to make a point because the human brain started developing and questioning things. So in order to avoid that, they created religion. So now you are completely, within a circle, within a cycle. So you don't have the time to go around and go nuts on your existential crisis or something like that because you've got religion, you've got a specific path to follow, And yeah, human beings to love, to follow a certain path made by somebody else, right? That's the human nature. And I think
Mhm.
the whole concept of religion came from wanting to have a belief in something, wanting to get a meaning of the things that they're doing, right? So, but like, yeah, religion is not bad at all because it really teaches you good morals, good values, and things you should be doing, not doing. Yeah, it's pretty outdated in the current context. A couple of things, like lots of things are still valid to this date, but like some things are a bit more extreme to be followed these days. So yeah, but like
Yeah.
the ultimate goal of religion was to make people do good things, get into a good path and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's how the whole concept of religion came. And about defending or not defending religions and stuff like that, I haven't really been into, religious topics, debates and all, because like I've seen
Like
people, yeah, I've seen Christian people as well, I've seen Muslim people as well, Hindu myself,
I have, but like
but like,
honestly, I have never seen like Hindu defending their religion. Like they
but
actually
no, no
don't
one,
care. Like they actually
no one actually questions, Hindu religion because there are no shit about it because it's so huge, it's like the oldest religion out there, right? So like, and it does not have
yeah,
a specific pathway. Even in Hindu religion, there are different pathways, different gods you can follow, actually, right? So it's just so
Mhm.
vast that
yeah.
one cannot just, go around and say, hey, Shiva is stupid, something like that. Because
Hey,
like,
people used to take weed and then like just roam around the
yeah,
village. That's what people will
if
say.
we think, I read Sostani, Sostani Brata Katha, that book. I read that and I was like, Lord Shiva is giving a lot of trouble to Parvati. He literally married by lying. He asked Vishnu to go there, get married, and while doing the Sindur thing, he got himself there and, he basically made a deception and
Lying, cheating,
married Sati
cheating,
Devi.
cheating, cheating,
Yeah, he basically
cheating.
cheated, and he cheats a lot actually. He cheats throughout the course of Sostani and gives lots of trouble to Parvati. But like, yeah, what am I meant to take away from that? But like,
This will be a cheater, guys.
yeah, if we think from the current context, I actually also I 2 years back I actually wanted to write a blog post about this. Like the things, the actions that were taken by Lord Siva were not really, up to standards to at the current time, and the things that even gods do, they
Mhm.
are not good all the time. The people, because in Sostani, people literally got punished because they worshipped a lot. They were very good. They were really religious and stuff like that. So if the religious people are getting punished, what's the point, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, there are lots of it's a really old scripture or whatever you say, but like it's a really old book, right? So yeah, it is what it is. The religious is pretty much outdated, but like you gotta follow your traditions. It's more about following your culture and traditions than the strictly religious pathway. At least that's what I believe. And if someone disagrees, if someone thinks something else is correct, that's also completely fine because Muslim would want everyone to be a Muslim. Christian would want everyone to be a Christian, and Hindu would want the same. So like having different ideologies, having different thoughts, and having different opinions on something is completely fine. That's what makes us different. That's what makes this world beautiful, man. We should be fighting over it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and these days, I think like people have started to realize that religion was mainly based out of like the need of hope, especially for to overcome their fear too, like to overcome the fear of death. Like especially in Nepal, everywhere you see, like whenever they're in a dire situation, they are always chanting the name of gods. So basically, it gives them a hope, a ray of sunshine that there's always someone to save us.
Yeah,
But then
because
there's
if
also the question that, yeah, there's also the question that everything needs a creator, right? And like even though people might not agree upon who the creator is, most of the scriptures they point that there is a single creator, and I do think that they're all pointing to one single entity, but they have given different names to it, right? But do you guys believe that there is a creator? Because like I personally like I feel like uh, every like we can like go in a paradox like so this could be created by this could be created by this, but
No,
ultimately there's a
I
single
think I
thing
have a
that has to
point.
be created, right? And there should be a creator, but then there's a paradox that the creator also has a creator, like there's a creator for
Yeah,
that creator too, right?
yeah, because someone has
So
to create
that's
that
an
creator as
infinite
well,
loop
right?
kind of. Yeah, but
Yeah,
there's got to be a single creator though, like, the thing can't just exist out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think we will
What do you
not
guys
be
think?
yeah.
getting. We will not have an answer to this maybe even for like 500 years down the line. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, basically, we don't even know about the whole world, the whole universe itself. We don't know where it ends or where it starts. So we're basically clueless about who even created it, right?
Yep, completely makes sense. And like,
And
yeah, I think
I think like, and then like people who worship like even like God or like Lord or Jesus or like anything like that, like people just give them other name. They are just ordinary people back at their time, and then like they did something good. That's why like people want to follow their like path and stuff like this. I think I take these things like this because Gautam Buddha was a normal person, but like people follow his
for his
belief, his
ideologies, yeah.
yeah ideology because he was actually a son
Actually,
of king and he
With
yeah, and then like
actually, go Buddhism is a bit of a different religion because they don't really worship Buddha. They do worship Buddha, but like they are more into Buddha's ideologies than Buddha himself. They don't say just like Buddha is everything. Buddha is the world. Buddha is this that. No, Buddha is a normal person. He had these ideologies. He got enlightened. Yeah, he shared his wisdom across
yeah.
people, and that's what we follow. It's that's the thing with Buddhism. Actually, it's different religion than all the other religions that there is.
yeah, and what I think mainly separates Buddhism from other religions is like mainly other religions are more focused, like people are really focused on what they are going to do after they die, like what they are going to be or what is the afterlife. They really care about those stuff, like, oh, I want to be in heaven, or like I want to be reborn as a human being again, like kind of like those things, right? But Buddhism really focuses on the present, like how do you live your short life, like throughout while you have the time, how do you live it to the fullest? And that is what really separates Buddhism from other stuff. And even us being Hindu, we have a lot of respect for Buddhism. And whenever I think about Buddhism, I think about meditation, I think about, self-improvement, I think
Monk
about changing
mode,
my
like
habits
getting
and all.
Zal and stuff like this. Yeah,
But whenever I think about Hinduism, it's like worshiping a stone or, doing different rituals, doing pujas and all. So it really differs. Like
But
Buddhism is it's like a practice. It's like an art kind of thing. Whereas
yeah,
like Hinduism is basically uh, I mean, like, even the scriptures, but either the one who wrote the scriptures has to be one of the best builders ever, like Oda Sensei, or even the whole scriptures is also what amuses me because a person who is able to write that much, all the world building, it sometimes it makes me think that it might be real sometimes, like a person is not capable of writing all of those stuff, like it should have been here by any means, it is impossible for a person to write all those stuff in the book, and especially it's the true for all religions, like they have their own backstories and all, but when you look at it overall, the whole world building, the whole character development there, you could literally make up an anime, man, about
Yeah,
it.
actually, I think
It's really fascinating, man.
yeah, I think people were really creative writers back then. I think that's the main reason. Because like some people, 50 years down the line, people might be discussing One Piece and they'll be saying the same thing. I think this is real. No one can really write
Let's make it a
something like
religion, right?
this. Yeah. Yeah, you can actually
And
make a religion
people,
out of One Piece, Sun God, and stuff like that. Yeah. It is even more realistic, actually. But whatever, like, I was trying to focus, when you said like worshiping stars and all, one thought came to my mind, and
uh-huh.
is that religion in itself is not really a bad thing because you,
Religion, it's like
yeah, wait,
belief to
yeah.
like help you grow, I think.
Yeah, so it's like
It's like
I really, whenever I do puja, it really, I think I mentioned this back in the podcast as
whenever
well,
you
but
do
like,
worship, buddy,
yeah, when
worship, you
you
do
worship, you
worship.
really get a different vibe. When you go to the religious places, the temples, you get a
Yeah.
different vibe. When you go to the stupas and stuff like that, you get a completely different vibe. And that's the
Yeah,
ultimate
and
point.
then
You don't have to fully go, you don't have to fully do all the BDs, do all the procedures to while doing worshiping, but it's more about taking the vibes, taking the good
it's
energy
like
with you, carrying the positive energy with you, and that's the point. Because it is what is really important for anyone, because you really get worn out by all the day-to-day stuffs in life, and when you go out there, when you get that vibes,
it
get that
feels
feeling,
refreshed,
yeah,
yeah,
you experience, you go to a
calm.
completely different realm, man. And yeah, in that aspect, religion is a pretty good thing. But like, yeah, you need to balance it out. Maybe like 60/40. You shouldn't be going full all in and, be a full-fledged
Probably
religious
religion
guy.
also has to follow the 60/40
Yeah,
rule to
yeah.
be
You
the
need to be,
balanced,
yeah, you need to be
be in
six.
the most best state.
Yeah, I think,
Because like these, yeah,
yeah,
people who fight over religion, they're over the 60%. No,
I
no,
think for
60%
religion,
is
it
fun.
should be
So
80/20 maybe,
it's below 40%
because like
because they
40,
are serious about it.
yeah, but like 40%
Because
religious,
40% is seriousness, right?
yeah, yeah, it's religious side, and 60% is chill side.
Yeah, they're more serious about it. And the people on the 60% side, above 60% side, they're literally atheists. So like they don't believe religions and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And even the good practices that religion teaches us, and they ignore it. And they're probably like on the more taking it liberal side of things. So above the 60% margin, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, makes
we
sense, makes
really
sense.
gotta balance it out. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
whatever we
Is
talk
sixty
about.
forty a good proportion for it?
I think, yeah, it should be a bit more than 60, because like, when you really think about it, 60/40 is more of like half half, a bit more than half, right? So I think 70/30 or 80/20,
Mm.
because like you can be really doing daily puja, because the 40% should also maybe fall into that category. But like maybe 70/30 or
Oh.
80/20 should be a better fit for the religious stuffs.
So like 70 to be more religious and 20 to
No,
be
no, 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 no,
liberal
no.
about it, or
70 to be
opposite?
just chill about it, and 30 to be religious about it,
Um,
because you can't be
oh,
thinking about your religion all the time, and every time you're doing something, maybe you can be
mm,
religious when you need to be, when you get something, some sort of ceremonies going on, some festivals you gotta celebrate. You can be religious during that time, but during the other time, I don't think
mhm.
it's much needed to
Yeah, I
be
mean
a
it
fully
makes
religious
sense.
guy.
Yeah, I mean makes sense because yeah, religion is not the only thing that will constantly reminds you that you need to be serious in life too, or you need to change your habits. There are a lot of different things that affect that. So, like, basically for religion, I think the 70/30 margin is pretty good, though,
Yeah.
right?
So I
Mm,
think, yeah, I
yeah.
think that's it for like the religious stuffs for now, because like this is a really deep topic, and I
Yeah,
think we
I
can.
mean, even our opinions don't really matter that much.
Yeah,
I don't think people are gonna take us seriously, but that's basically what we and probably like what 90% of the people feel out there. Like they just don't care, and probably after 50 years or something, like people are gonna stop caring about religion.
yeah, that makes sense, man. Yeah, I think yeah, it's more about belief and like taking the good things from it than being a full blown religious guy. Yeah. So this is it for this
Yeah.
topic, I guess. There's not much to talk about it because like it's kind of
Mhm.
not really that interesting topic as well because yeah, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, there's nothing we can change or nothing we can feel about it. It's just
yeah.
that, like, after coming here, I feel like I've become a bit less religious for some reason. Like, you know,
Really? You
I'm
you don't
just
you don't eat your Mahaprasad in the morning these days.
no, no, no. Of course, I do those ritual
Oh,
part of things, but like I don't get constantly reminded of God and how, everything like God is our creator and we have to perform good deeds to satisfy the needs to go to heaven or something like that, like because it's the US effect, guys, if being liberal, like literally nobody cares about you. You do what you want kind of thing, so there's no one to influence me. There's no one to take me to temples. There's no one to be like, oh, you gotta worship and all. So it's pretty free out here. So that's also a reason why. But hopefully, I do continue my habits, but I've been trying to slack off on it, but I have been continuing my like daily bathing routine and all the things, right? Like wearing different clothes every day, having different night clothes, because that is all part of my religion,
yeah, that makes
and
sense.
those are good habits. And I agree that I have to follow those habits, but since I'm not constantly reminded by my parents and all, I've been slacking off on changing my clothes parts. I've been reusing clothes and I don't
Yeah,
want to
I
do
know,
laundry
I
every
know.
single day.
Basically, even our viewers know you never changes your clothes, buddy. We even doubt you take a shower or not.
This, no, I
We
do
even,
change my night clothes, but
you
I
use
really
nighty
don't like
stuff.
doing
Come
laundry.
on, buddy. Grow up, grow up.
All right, so
Oh.
what else do we have? Chris, our host, please.
All
Um,
right.
I don't know if you, because see, I've been reading mangas these days, right, out
Mm-hmm.
of nowhere because I had them on hold for so long, but for some reason I read one manga, and as cliche as it may sound, it's a romance manga,
Oh my
and
goodness.
I don't know if you I don't know if you guys want to talk about romance or not, because we personally have a very different, or should I say, a diverse perspective on romance.
All right,
Because,
let's go all in. Let's go all in, night. Yeah, this is going to be
Let
a
me
very,
let me stretch myself.
this is going to be an
you guys
interesting
Let
are,
me get
topic. All
ready.
right.
Warmed up,
you
guys.
guys, you guys are pumped up for
All
this.
right, let's
You
go.
guys are pumped up for this
Asis is
topic.
going to be excited,
Ananda.
man.
Come on, see me, Ananda,
This is going
Ananda.
to be excited.
Yeah,
Yeah, our
yeah,
viewer, the only viewer,
yeah,
Asis is going to be
yeah.
excited now because we finally have the most interesting topic. All right.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
make somebody else also watch this manga. I'm sorry, not fucking manga. I'll
What do you mean by
make
make somebody, buddy? What do you mean by
I'm going to
somebody?
make people watch
You
this
know,
relationship part. So I think we should get started
people,
already.
really, really, bro,
I think I
really,
also mentioned
really.
this last time about making someone watch something, but
Last
I
time you only
didn't do it.
mentioned bro, and then
I didn't
you,
I didn't do it, I
you.
think. But whatever. This time I'll make sure I do it. All right, let's get into it. Chris, start the topic, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with my friend. Okay.
Okay,
But
I'll do
actually,
the namaskaram,
uh,
namaskaram. Let's start
it's
with
actually my friend
namaskaram,
from.
bro,
Oh,
namaskaram.
shout out to Moti, man. But this is not about
Who?
Moti, but
Who is Modi?
Moti.
Come on,
She's
say.
not going to watch it,
I
man.
think we
She's not
say
going to watch this full.
always. how do we
What do
like
you mean?
point out
Shout
sad
Facts.
out to
people?
Prajoli Thapa, man. Shout out to Prajoli Thapa. Hope you are listening to this and get some advice on relationships, girl.
All right,
Some relationship advice from the boys who are good at it, from
yeah.
the boys who have a lot of experience. You should
Which
learn from us, man.
from the man who's been on it for like a long time, been playing around with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, Chris.
So there's one
Anyway,
of
what do you mean? Anyway, huh? Anyway,
wait, I don't want to
anyway.
specify
Yeah.
the name, but there is one friend of mine who just had his breakup, and
Fuck.
they were in love. Like, we could see that they were in love. I literally thought that they were going to get married, like she is the one or he is the one kind of thing, right? But then they had to do this long distance relationship because his girlfriend went
I
abroad.
knew long distance was the problem, buddy. I always
And
like teach you guys about the long distance.
what the girl told was that she just lost feelings, like out of nowhere. Like, they were doing good even in long distance, like even for 2 whole months. They
That's
were
why
in call every
I would
day
like
for
to
two,
interrupt,
three
Chris.
hours.
I would
But
like to interrupt. I would like to
wait,
interrupt.
let me finish, man. But I would like to conclude my point, bro. But what happened was, like, the girl just lost feelings, and the dude was like, what the fuck? Like, how does a person lose feelings like instantly? And what he told was, this is a problem with girls. Like, this is a girl kind of problem, because boys would not lose feelings completely in a span of 1 or 2 days, like just because of some mood swings or something. And I was out there consoling that guy, like, oh, bro, like, you deserve better, and all those cliche consoling statements, right? But it is pretty tough for me to hear it too, but at the end of the day, it was what it is. And I still don't get how people who are that close with each other or who vibe that much, they still have to break up at some point. Like, what even causes it, you know?
Yeah, Imal, please.
Yeah,
I
you want
think
to
I
give
have
your
already
opinion,
mentioned this
party?
stuff
Yeah.
because Chris, I always try to teach you stuff about relationship stuff. You see that girl after doing a couple of days or months of years of long distance, she's not interested anymore. That's the reason. Because relationship is not about being together. It's about doing together, being together.
Yo,
You got me or not? Like,
wait, wait,
am
wait.
I
Yeah,
clear? Or like I should be
wait,
getting into the
Imal, wait, wait, wait. No, no, no,
more.
please.
Yeah,
I'll explain on that because it might sound like a joke or something. Really, what you're saying something like that, but
I'm not joking.
it's true. Because, like, let me explain in a better way. Because the
It's
way you
like
phrased it sounds like,
no,
oh, you're really naughty.
no.
But wait, I'll say. All right,
No. I will go easy then. I will go easy. Just let me talk then. It's
right.
like it's like part of the way you have to go with other stuff too. It's not like yeah we're going to marry each other and then like if you can do anything then everyone will get bored.
So
That's
wait, wait,
like
wait. So
why like short distance
before
runs
you,
longer than long distance is the reason. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
what he's trying to say? Yeah.
before you go off topic on that, about that being together or doing together stuffs,
What
I
do you
want.
mean by what do you mean by you going off topic?
I
Before
mean,
you go off
no.
Yeah, of
topic,
course,
what was
you
that?
will,
You're
Wait,
be.
like you're like it's like
wait.
so disrespect.
I mean,
Yeah.
on the topic, mate. This is the topic I want to talk about, and if you go talk about something else, then this is going to miss out, right? So yeah, explaining
Okay.
on that.
You can continue this. You can continue. I already told what I have
Let me
to say. Like
fucking speak, man. Let me fucking speak. All right.
okay.
All
Fuck
right.
off, buddy. Fuck off, mate. Mate, you can
All
speak,
right.
mate.
It's been 2 weeks and he's lost his composure already. We'll try to make him better next time. Viewers, don't worry. Anyway,
What do you
yeah.
mean by?
Anyway, I'll take over that doing versus getting part. So I think the primary reason long distance doesn't work, it does in some cases, but like you cannot really be saying that long distance doesn't work because like even the short distance doesn't work, man. It's like
Yeah,
we're just
because
we're just
if short distance does not work, is if a boy is like you, no energy. and then like
No,
Barry.
no, man, we can't.
Yeah,
Wait. That
yeah.
we need to be a bit serious about the topic, man. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
because like about the part Himal mentioned, like it's not relationship is not only about the emotional connection. It's also about the
It's
physical connection. It's
physical.
also about the spiritual connection. This emotional connection is the only thing that you
Yeah.
get from a long distance relationship, right? So yeah, if you only have physical connection and no emotional or spiritual connection, that's also a
That's actually
bad thing.
good. That's actually good.
Wait, no,
That's
if you want to hook up, that's good, but like for a relationship, for a
yeah.
commitment, that's not good. So like you need to have a balance, and I think when short distance goes into a long distance relationship, it becomes a bit unbalanced, and you need to you can only have the emotional connection. So I think that's the main reason long distance doesn't last much, and people really get busy with their lives when they're far away. They don't have that much time to give to each other, because like especially when people move abroad, they don't have that much time, right? Because they need to do work, they need to study, they need to do stuffs, and like yeah, it doesn't really work. And I think that's the reason most of the long distance relationship end in a breakup. But I've seen a couple of cases where long distance actually working. So yeah, I think if both people give their best, is it works, but it's like 10 times tougher than a short distance relationship, because you cannot really sort things out by meeting, right? You cannot really get that connection of being physically together and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's like relationship is more about meeting and mating, That was
if
my
if if you
line.
think if we think from the ancient point, we there used to be no texting, there used to be no calls. It was all meeting and
Mm,
mating actually, and that's what is coded in our DNA. So I think it makes sense from that
Yeah.
perspective as well. But like
Yeah,
I
buddy.
think Chris
Yeah.
Chris might have a Chris might have a different opinion on this. Chris, what do you have to say?
Yeah, Chris, I think Chris do have like some analogy about plywood stuff.
Hey, come
I
on,
would like to pass
man.
the mask to the I would like to pass the microphone to the host, to the energy less host. Yeah, you can talk.
yeah, okay. So what I think is you guys believe in the hit and trial method where you
What,
try a
what,
No,
what?
no.
relationship,
Can you please repeat that
Wait,
again?
wait, wait, wait. That's not what we
hit and
meant.
trial
It's hit.
method. In a
It's a hit and
hit
run,
and
bro. It's
trial,
hit and run. It's not hit and
yes,
trial.
hit
What?
and run.
Hit and
What are you
yeah.
crazy? No, what I mean by hit and trial is that you try a relationship, like it may work
No.
out, it may not work out, and if it doesn't work out, you end it in good terms and you look for another partner, right? Like
If
in
you
that
get what
sense,
you
until
need,
you
then
find the
you'll
one,
definitely find other
until you
person.
find
You'll
the one,
Nimal, come
definitely
on,
right?
look
man.
other
Let
person.
Chris speak, man. Shut up.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that you guys believe in the hit and trial thing that I talked about. And for me, since like, yes, it is a part of being human, like that is what I think everyone does, like and not everyone's first love w- is their last love. They are always going through this process of hit and trial, trying out, trying out, going out with different girls, or different guys probably. But the thing is, breakups are tough, and I don't think that anyone wants to hang out just for the fun of it because, yeah, I mean, that's a part of hanging out. But when you are seriously in search of love and the thing doesn't work out, the shit is gonna hurt, right? And like from my perspective, like I know you guys are gonna be like, mote, 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 but the thing is, I believe in the looking for the one person who will meet you eventually. And what
Will
I
meet
think that
you.
Shut up, man.
since we discussed about fate and all, right, this is where I want to connect fate with it. Like you just do your own stuff, do all things of self improvement. You just go on your own journey, and eventually you're gonna meet that one person. Is what I like to believe. And even if you don't meet that person, like you don't need to, feel like you're alone or lonely. Like you can have friends to rely on. You can have anyone to rely on, right? But there's always this thing about that you need to have a family at the end of the day, like your things needs to be passed down to children. Like that's what has been going on since ages. You can't just live alone. But you know, I don't think so. Like I feel like I could live alone if I don't find the correct partner, or if I do, like I'm gonna love that person throughout my life. It's not the hit and trial method, because I don't want to go that route, because breakups hurt, man. Even though they help you improve as a person, they still hurt. And why risk it? Like just focus on yourself, and eventually it's gonna be there. Like I just want to believe in those things,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so I think
And this is definitely different for probably for Himal. It's
yeah,
definitely
I think we
different.
should stop letting Himal talk for a while because I want to talk, and we have the
Yeah.
serious discussion. Chris Himal is going to be, yeah, well, we can let him speak. All right, Himal, just shut up.
Yeah.
And yeah, diving into that topic, Chris, I think I have a different opinion on this because, like, yeah, it
Hmm.
breakups hurt, yeah, but like the rush of being in love, that is also something you're going to miss if you don't get into these stuff, right? And I'm not saying that you should be just looking for that and stuff like that, but like relationship is also a skill, man. You need to be able to, handle women well because you cannot really understand them, right? The more you are in such scenario, the more you will be able to understand them, and the more relationship you've faced, the more you will be able to, get over your shortcomings, right? And then ultimately, when you marry, you will have a better relationship with your wife than than while having no experience, right? Because it's also a skill at the end of the day. It's like if you're just avoiding because breakup's hard, it's like avoiding riding a bike because you are scared of falling, and if you fall, you're going to get hurt. Yeah, you will definitely get hurt. You will learn from your mistakes. You'll learn from somebody else's mistakes. You'll understand what sort of partner you really need. You'll understand, what you look for in your partner, right? I think that's what is a good factor for, maybe doing a bit of hit and trial method as well. Because like you can, personally, I do not believe in true love. I do not believe in soulmate. I do not believe in the one partner or something like that. It's more of like spontaneous thing that just happens and you have to be okay with it. And yeah, but like there is not really someone waiting out there just for you, made for you, because even though you might not be going through the hit and trial, they might be definitely going through it. So I think it makes sense for you as well to try things out, see if you can maybe, get a get a partner like who's going to
The more you
be
experience, the more it will be easy for you to uh, like get good partner, like have a better, better relationship life, or like
yeah,
better marriage life ahead. It's
yeah,
all about the
because
Yeah.
experience and journey. It's
because
about like
a
the
good
more
And
partner,
the
yeah,
more you ride the bike, the more you're good at riding it. You
the
know,
the
yeah, of
if you're
course.
like, yeah,
But
if you start from Splendor and you can just get to the XR
all
Crossfire
right, mate,
Bullet
all
and then
right,
like
all
all
right,
this stuff.
mate, all right,
uh,
please.
Come on, buddy. You guys are so
mate,
All
mean.
right,
mate,
I think
please,
mate,
you
please,
guys should
m-
remove.
please, please,
mate,
please.
mate, mate. Yeah, but like for me, yes, like building a social connection is an important part, is an important aspect of a human's life, right? But like just relationships, like focusing on a different partner, I don't consider it as a fundamental need for a human being. I consider it to be the secondary needs, like social connection is a fundamental need, but just focusing on relationships with the opposite gender, like the love relationship. I mean, not the love, like what do you call a romantic relationship? I just consider it to be a secondary part, though. Like, I don't consider it completely as a social connection skill, though. And for that reason, like I don't feel the urge or need to compulsorily be into a relationship when you can do a lot different things and you can improve even on your social skills, or even relational skill, like relationship skills, without actually being with a partner, though. you know,
Yeah, but
like
like it's
just
like
talking to
it's like
girls,
just
getting to know girls, you know.
yeah, but like it's
I
only
think
getting the
that's also
theory and not knowing the practical stops at all because you really need to go there, get your hands dirty and learn from stops, right? Because like you cannot really be sitting in a room and texting girls and getting to really know what they look for uh, during a relationship because you know people do change when they are in a relationship and they it's not the same way when they are talking with you normally, right? And I think uh, you know, if you're a really nice guy, you're a good guy, and you really want everything to go completely smoothly all the time, I think that doesn't work in a relationship because girls will get bored, man. If no matter how good they are, girls get bored if everything goes smoothly, and that's something you definitely do not want because yeah, they'll lose
Yeah,
feelings, they'll
you
lose
will get
interest,
hot
and
more than breakup that time.
yeah,
Because like
because
there will be no reason for
there
leaving
has to be
you.
no
Because
reason.
you're like
You
they will
can.
be like Chris, you're like God to us. We can't date you. Chris, get lost
All
from
right,
our
shut up,
life.
man. Shut up, man. Come on. I'm getting annoying now.
Come
Shut
on.
up. Let me speak. Because, like, you know, they'll get bored because you cannot, you know, it's like they're really looking for ups and downs, and if even if you make literally zero mistakes, if you don't do anything wrong at all, they're going to be bored and everything is going to fall apart. Actually, even if that's the same reason they loved you at the first place, even if your innocence, even if you being nice was the thing that attracted them to you the most, they are going to get bored later down the line. So you cannot be the good guy, you cannot be the nice guy, and you know,
Forever.
just expect things to go smooth all the time. So I think for it took me a lot of time to learn this, and the more I see people around me, the more I see even myself, uh, the more I, you know, get a confirmation that this is true and this is just how their brain works. So we cannot do anything about it but play the game. You know, playing the game not in a bad sense,
Yeah.
but like it's a really important thing.
Basically,
It's a really important thing that you gotta do because you need to keep that dopamine rush. You need to keep that adrenaline rush of being in a relationship, and you know you need to keep that interest up, interest high, so that you know you're having fun all the time. So if everything goes smoothly, things get boring real quick.
yeah,
That's what I
definitely.
think. Yeah.
And yeah, and yeah, I mean, like we, it's, I think it's valid to have different opinions about it because there have been people who are like, there have been people going through all the hidden trials and they finally found their partner, or there have been people who are single their whole life and they don't even care. They didn't even realize that they actually needed a partner, you know. It was not an important part of their life. Like people have their own opinions, own experience, but yeah, we did discuss about what mindset we might have before being in a relationship. But now, suppose you are in a relationship, and now what do you guys feel about commitment? Because there's a, I mean, me being going by moral standards, I feel like being committed is a crucial part of it, even if like, of course, like there's a marriage kind of relationship and before marriage thing, right? Yeah, marriage makes, especially in our culture, like marriage really builds up the commitment that we have with our partner, with all the rituals and all the things that they talk about, right? Which is why the divorce rate is so less in Nepal compared to like countries like the US, because here they are not really, they don't really feel that commitment, or they are not bound to be committed to each other, even if they, you know, they might not be romantically engaged during that time. But what do you guys personally feel about sticking to a single person while you're in a relationship, which will not consider marriage? Because I think that's pretty much morally wrong. But while trying out relationships, what do you think about like trying out different people while being in a single relationship, though? Because personally, I think it's morally wrong, though.
What do you have to
morally,
say,
who
Mal?
cares moral things?
I'll let Mal speak first.
Yeah, I
Who
think this
cares
is a
about moral
subject that
stuff?
Himaj should
Da,
speak about, you know?
by the way, one second.
For me personally, I didn't go with moral values. It's up to me. It's totally up to me. Life is all about exploring, and then right now I'm full on at the top energy about exploring stuff, and like even like I discussed this thing with like older people, like the people people over 50 plus ages, and then why Ananda is not here. I will talk once he is back because
You know,
I
he's
don't want
listening
him to
though.
miss out. I don't think so.
Yeah. No, he's definitely listening. He's probably going on a bathroom break. But
Okay, if you're listening,
what
Ananda boy, you must respond yourself.
And the thing is, like, do you feel committed to a person though? Like, suppose you are in a relationship, will you give your 100% to that person, or is there a feeling like, oh, I mean, like, we are in a relationship, but again, I want to learn what a new person thinks, I want to learn
So
about a new
that's
partner.
that's an interesting question. Wait. Let me speak.
All right, I'll
So
just
if
man
you're
you.
talking about like if no, just shut up, buddy, shut up, shut the fuck up. So if you're talking about like if I'm already engaged with a person and then like I have already like started a relationship with her, so I would definitely give my 100%. I will definitely give my 200% if I'm committed. But if I'm just trying out stuff, then who cares? Who cares about the third person? Just
Yeah, so
So it depends on
so
what you are
actually,
feeling. Like,
yeah, it's
who-
actually the feeling, the feel, how you feel about the other person. Like if I
uh,
take her
what
as
do
a
you,
like my love of my life, or like if I take her as a, like the single piece, she is meant to be mine. Yeah, I can do anything for her if I feel like this. I can even die for her. No, not actually die. Just going with the flow stuff. But like I can do everything. Like I will be super duper committed with her throughout the
yeah,
life.
so I think
Yeah.
relationship stuff is something that, the thing that I'm saying that you guys are saying right now, we might change our opinion later down the line, even a couple of years later, because what I used to feel 2 years ago is not what I feel right now. So yeah, whatever we discuss, this is what we feel right now, and not something super duper dogmatism. So anyway, yeah. Speaking on that committed part, I think yeah, it's not only about our feelings, it's about their feelings as well. Because you cannot be like, all right, this is the love of my life. But if they don't feel back the same way, if they are thinking of you as more of a casual relationship stuff,
Yeah,
you're going
then
to get
fuck
hurt.
off. Then just hit and
Yeah,
run.
yeah,
Then you can
no,
just
no,
go
no,
for hit and
man.
run.
Come on, man. Please let me speak. All right. So, yeah, you cannot be that straightforward in a podcast. You need to be a bit more thoughtful, man. All
Oh,
right.
sorry.
So,
Yeah, just
yeah,
hit
if
and then like
you
hi.
need to you need to actually discuss it. It needs to be mutual, whether it's a casual relationship or more of a serious relationship. And if you both of you are on the same page, that's perfectly fine. And if not, like you cannot really be like, I'm gonna hit and run, but that like they're really into you. That's also
Come on, you can't use
something
that term in podcast, buddy.
that's
It's
that.
serious.
Come on, man.
Use
That's
other
also
term.
something. That's also something that is sort of morally wrong because you will be like playing around with them. So yeah, I think it's
So I have got
about
a
that
question.
thing
I have got a
is
question. I
is
have got a
more of
question.
like a mutual thing. Yeah, what's the question?
How do you guys take things like morally wrong or morally right? Like I think these all stuff are like based on the perception. Like it's
Yeah,
totally up to
exactly.
you how you
Your
take
morals and
things
my
like the right
morals.
things or the
Yeah,
wrong things. Yeah.
something that might be morally wrong to be me might not be a big deal for you. And some things that you might think, oh my goodness, this is horrible, might not be a big deal for me. It's all about individual perception, individual, bar restrictions and something like that. So
What do you
it's up
think,
to
Chris?
you.
Oh,
see, personally, the what I morally think is right is about consent. Like, as long as you get the consent from your partner, I think you are free to do whatever you want, but doing things behind their back or not being completely honest with them is what I think is morally wrong. So, like, suppose you are losing feelings with them, yeah, I mean, losing feelings towards them, but they are strictly committed to you. Like, in that state, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna try out new things now. Like, I'm gonna go find a new partner without telling your old partner. Like, you have to talk things out, you have to get their consent, you have to be honest with them. Because I think that's basically what moral means, like you can't imagine, like, imagine like you are the victim there and your partner is the one cheating on you, or I would not use the word cheating, but basically, your partner is not honest with you, or your partner is not taking your consent to do things, that you personally don't find good. So in that case, what I think that you have to get the consent from your partner, or you have to be brutally honest, even though like it might be hard to tell, but you have to be brutally honest with your partner. And as long as you do it, I think you can do anything.
Yeah, yeah, right. If your partner allows you to make another partner, that's also fine.
I mean, we have seen
Yeah, that's
different situations. Like there's one situation where one person is, I would not like to tell the name, but one person is bounded by another partner and he has to follow what their partner says. And even though he might personally feel like he's losing feelings or he doesn't want this kind of relationship, doesn't really want to talk about it. He might act like nothing is happening, but internally he like within he feels like, oh, this is not working out, or why
I
am I
think,
following
yeah,
what she has to say, right? So I think you have to be brutally honest. If you don't like what a person is doing, or if that person is forcing you to do, or if that person is basically changing you to become who you are not, or who you don't want to be, I think that is what I consider a toxic relationship. And you just have to be brutally honest, just go out, speak what you want, because at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your choice, and you get to decide who gets to be your partner, right? But at the same time, the thing about consent, you can't just hurt somebody and just go your own way. You have to talk things out, be honest, I mean, just if you want to go apart on mutual understanding.
yeah. Actually, on that part, wait, what was I saying? I forgot, man. Wait, let me remember. Uh,
Yeah.
what did we just talk about? We talked about consent, but before that, what was that?
Before consent, like being committed to a single partner.
no. I asked the question about like moral values are like
No, no, no,
totally
no,
up to
no,
a
no, no. Right
person. Like
now,
it's
right now,
about the
right.
perception.
No, right now, when Chris was, what was Chris? What was Chris? Can you summarize what you just said now? I had a really good point, but I forgot it, man. What the
Oh,
fuck?
I was talking about how a person, like, if he's forced to become what he is
Oh
not,
yeah,
or
all
like
right. I
he's
got
in
it.
a
Yeah,
toxic relationship.
that's a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah, so I really completely agree with you on the honesty part because like it is one of the fundamental basis that our relationship it sticks to because if you're not honest, if you lie and stuff like that, it's not going to last long because one day for sure it's going to come out, right? So yeah, that's a really important thing. But like with regards to feelings, I have a bit different opinion on this because like your feelings change a lot and all the time. So you shouldn't be acting on based on your feelings all the time. Like, yeah, you should definitely ask yourself whether you're comfortable, like whether you're happy with this relationship or not, and stuff like that. But sometimes you feel down. Sometimes you're not, you know, just not the right you. So you cannot be like
I-
just acting on the basis of that temporary feeling because if the
Mhm.
relationship is good, if the relationship is worth your time, if it is worth committing yourself to, you shouldn't be like thinking about your feelings all the time. Yeah, if the feelings, do continue, if the same feelings do continue over a long time, maybe for a month or so, if you're just not feeling the charm at all, yeah, it makes sense to, talk it out. Yeah, you should definitely talk out your feelings when they are coming before it gets up a pretty big deal, but like you shouldn't be act on based on that. You can maybe try talking it out, but like you shouldn't be really, all right, I'm not feeling good with you right now. Let's break up. That's definitely not the way, because you need to maybe be a bit more logical about it as well after a certain time in relationship. So yeah, it's definitely about the feelings. You need to talk about it, but you should try not to act all the time with your feelings only, right? Because we feelings sense, it's not about relationship only as well. I might get angry with you. That's also a feeling, right? And if I act completely based on that, that's definitely a bad thing. So you need to think rationally as well, instead of just your feelings only. But if you're sure it's
Yeah, and
definitely
like
not going to work
being
out,
Mhm.
it's pretty much good to talk it out and like sort things out than waste with your time.
Yeah, and being brutally honest is one skill that I think most relationships lack because I know it may hurt the other person, but it's ultimately for your and that person's own good, like, yeah, you may hurt that person right now, but at the end of the day, if you think that the relationship is not working out, you have to be brutally honest before it gets more tough to tell about your feelings, And that is one thing I think most modern relationships lack, being brutally honest. But then okay, so there's one thing that I personally feel with how people are being liberal these days with relationships and all these, the new term situationship. You guys ever heard of situationship these days? Because it's a really common thing. Like they are not actually in a relationship, but they are just checking each other out, trying out new things, kind of new deal. It's a Gen Z term, I guess, being in a situationship. But I think like this liberty to choose any partner you want is ultimately hampering you on the long run when you have to stick to a single partner, because it's basically like having ADHD, like how us watching shorts and reels have affected our attention span to watch longer videos, right? To concentrate on longer videos. Similarly, like having the liberty to be in a situationship, getting to try out different partners, like being engaged with different partners, is ultimately going to hamper you when you have to stick to a single partner for a very long time, because there has to be a day when you have to be committed to someone, and this liberty is what kills off the commitment and the vibe, or all the feeling to commit to a single person, and I think that is what is gonna cause a lot of divorce rates later on. And I don't know how you guys feel about divorce, but personally, I feel bad about it. Like after deciding that you want to stay together for the rest of your lives, and then again, like getting a divorce, it's better to either try either be like either be and change your partners every week and stay like that for the rest of your life. But if you really want to stick to a single person, at the end of the day, I think this liberty is ultimately going to hamper you, though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely makes sense. Yeah, the thing about, like not, exploring the downside of exploring, I'd say, is like, yeah, you don't really want to stick to one partner. And yeah, I think it's the same as attention span. The more you consume you know, the reels, the feeds of TikTok and all, you know, they really hamper your
The
attention
short
span.
content, right?
Yeah, short
Yeah.
content. The more you consume it, the more you will not be able to focus on the long content. So I think it's the same with the relationship as well. The more you go through the short-term relationship, the short-term fun, I think it will definitely hamper your long-term relationship or even your marriage after years down the line, because yeah, you will not have that energy, you'll not have that habit of committing yourselves to something for a long time. And yeah, I definitely really like that analogy. And yeah, I think it makes sense. Maybe it's good to be on a long-term relationship once in a while than like hop off like every 2 months or so.
Yeah, basically, like, yeah, it's better to yeah, try out things, but at least try to maintain a long-term relationship with that person. Like, just don't be like, oh, this is a single night thing, we're gonna be done after a month or two. Be like, don't start a relationship knowing that you're gonna break up after a month or two, like, at least have the commitment to stick with it for a year or so, because it's definitely gonna help you for the longer term when you have to stick to a single person, because that day is definitely gonna come.
Yeah, so yeah, I have a question actually. Do you guys think relationship is a good investment or a bad investment of your time in general? Like basically in
For
general.
me, for me, bad. It's bad. Uh, People are always it's bad. I don't think we're actually ready for it. But like I have
Mm.
seen many people like they are really seriously committed and like they're ready to give their life, they give their whole time and dedicate their whole life to someone they actually love. But I don't think things like this. I don't think like honestly, I don't think we are like mentally, physically prepared. Uh, Physically is different thing. I don't think we are mentally prepared. Physically, yeah, we are prepared. But still, to
You
be
can say
honest, like
you can say emotionally not prepared, maybe. That makes more
yeah,
sense.
emotionally, I'm not prepared. Like for me, even I don't think like I can live with other person. I can share my room with other person for more than 2 days. Because like and like it's like who cares? Like being committed means you have to give your time. You have to be like you have to be caring. You have to do all this stuff. For me, I can't. I really can. So that's why I'm not ready yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
makes
ready
sense.
for
Yeah.
other stuff. But
Really,
I'm not
yeah.
ready for relationships and commitments.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that this is something that really a lot of people lack
And then
nowadays.
like for me, I take these things as like a waste of time. Like in general, like I won't end up marrying someone that I date right now. That's why like I prefer not to date. And then like if I'm not going to marry them, then why should I waste my time? Why should I like
Energy
waste my
on something
energy?
that's not
Yeah,
going to
my
last.
yeah my positive energy because it will eventually make me like getting frustrated
Yeah,
over single things. Like if I get too committed, like and if I try calling a girl and then she didn't respond, and I was like, fuck, man, fuck, I'm
that is
done.
going to play
What
around
the
with you. That is going to stay on your head for a long
yeah,
time.
and yeah, and that's the really bad stuff. I don't actually
Yeah.
want to feel this stuff, but like I want to feel.
Okay, so personally, I want to talk about it a lot, right? So, okay,
Finally, our boy
um,
Chris coming back again with
this is
another
What
this
a
video.
is a
man.
really good opportunity. This is a really good opportunity to talk about the manga that I read just now, because it tackles that thing. Right. Now talking about whether relationship is a useful thing, or if, we are at the current age to be in a relationship and all. It depends upon the type of relationship that you are in. Like, when the other person is dragging you down, and that person doesn't want you to be yourself, doesn't want you to focus on your work, you know rather give her time, or, I mean, I don't want to say her, but rather give the person time, or kind of like that. That is definitely not good for your own good. But I don't agree with one thing Himal said, that is like, being committed. Being committed doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give more time to that person. And this is where I want to talk about Blue Box, which is the manga that I read. So here, there are two sport athletes, right? The girl is aiming to go to nationals in basketball, and the boy is aiming to go to nationals as a badminton player, right? So they both have their own goals. And this all started out as, the girl is 1 year senior than the boy, by the way. I mean, that doesn't make a difference, but it all started out as they were practicing in the gym room. I mean, the basketball court, or like the whole game court that they were playing in, and slowly and steadily the whole romance aspect of it built up. But then they have this question that if I be in a relation, if I will be in a relationship, is it gonna drag me down from my goals, or is it gonna drag me down from what I aim to achieve? And this is where they talk things out, and they're like, we have this, we have things to do, we have things to become, yeah, but at the same time we are attracted to each other, so what do we do? And they talk it out, and they confess to each other, and they are like, yeah, we have our goals in mind, but of course we can stay in a relationship, but we should never forget about our goals. I'm going to push you, and you push me, let's go grab that trophy together, let's go beat the nationals, get to the nationals together, and at the same time improve our relationship in that way, right? So there's that aspect. And the thing that really resonates with me, or basically like the thing that ultimately aids in this kind of relationship, is starting out as friends. Because I really think if you really want to stick in a long term relationship, you have to know the other person completely. Like, you can't just meet them today and start hanging out tomorrow. Like, it's definitely gonna go bad someday. But if you know a person thoroughly from when you started out, like for at least a year or two, I'm not gonna say the time, but if you know a person completely, and if you know that they are not going to drag you down from your from of achieving your dreams or getting to your goals, then I think that is the perfect relationship, and I think that's going to go ages in terms of length, right? Which is why I am a strong believer on starting out as friends and slowly building up, having that connection, getting to know each other better. Because when you start off as friends, you get to know all the sides as a friend, right? And when you get to a relationship, there's no need to hide any part of you that you don't want to show off, right? Because if like suppose in short-term relationships where you just meet a person today, or you go on a blind date, of course you want to show your good side to them, right? You don't want to show them your bad side. And eventually, after you get into a relationship, and ultimately if one day they get to see your bad side, there it's probably gonna end up bad, but when you start off as friends, when you know each other's bad sides from the beginning itself, and then when you develop it into a relationship, then there's nothing to worry about, because there's no one to judge you, and probably there's no one to drag you down, because you know each other that good, so I basically think that this was a good opportunity to explain the manga, and why I really loved it. Why I brought this topic of romance, because I mean, I'm still in hopes that there will be that partner someday, who I get to know personally too, and ultimately like start off as a friend and ultimately turn it into a relationship, or like making into a long term thing, and not dragging each other down. Instead, like pushing each other to their limits to get achieve their goals, right? But yeah, basically, I think that that is what separates a short term relationship with a long term thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
And
But like,
ultimately, like, relationship
well,
is not bad. That concludes that relationship is not bad if like both of your partners are pushing each other to be the best form of themselves,
you need to be aware
Correct.
of
That's
what.
actually a rare. That's actually a rare thing.
Actually,
Yeah, but
the
that is
working
what you hope,
relationship itself is also rare. So I think, yeah, we don't really need to talk about the rare part because
So
90.
like if you, that's why I mentioned like we're not like ready yet, because if you want to date somebody of people like younger than you, or like a bit older than you, uh, you're not gonna find like the what could I say,
perfect
the
match.
no, not perfect match. You're not going to get the things that you want into the person that you're looking for. What like
Yeah,
the what should I say exactly? Wait, let me think. What is like
You can say that in a poly.
feature? What should I say? Like
Qualities, might
features
qualities.
in, yeah, qualities. Yeah, yeah. So
Pizza,
you
man.
will
It's
you
not a
will never
software.
find.
It's not a web application
Yeah,
that you
that's
have
why. That's
pizzas.
why. That's why I was not like I was like getting so fucked up. Like, and then you will never find qualities in like people, a girl of age. 18, 19, or like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, even 22, up to 22. I don't think you will find like Chris as you're talking like this. You have to wait for ages and ages.
This is why
It's not like
I told you that I'm a strong believer in starting out as friends, getting to know the person better because eventually I will
But
get to talk to a
makes
lot
your
of
but makes
people along the way, right?
the problem with starting out as friend is that you might not feel romantically involved if you're just friends. So like if you are friends, you are friends.
yeah,
That's it.
it's
You have
totally
no
okay for
you
you,
you
but like
so friends is
God would
like you
take
have a
things
great
differently.
you have a great emotional connection, but you don't really have any romantic feelings for them. So it gets tough. Once you become friends, it gets tough for them to see you as a non-friend, as your romantic partner. So I think yeah, then if that
Yeah,
makes
Yeah, that's
sense.
why you
basically
have
like
to be
make a
clear from the
marriage
start.
work,
I
right?
think I will go with this thing. You have to be like clear from the start whether you're going to be a friend or you're trying to date her or you're
Yeah.
Yeah,
trying to do
basically.
other stuff.
Because if
Yeah,
you start out as
basically.
friend, you know your story, right? You'll just be a friend, and that's it. You'll not
Yeah,
be able
And
to
then
I
you
don't
get
will
like
get
to
ruin
to.
and
morph.
you ruin your friendship if you try to change it into the like relationship.
Yeah, I don't like to
Basically, there
word
is
it
no
as a
point.
friend itself, but more like a person that you know throughout, like not
That's the
exactly a
situationship,
friend,
bro. That's the situationship.
not situationship, man. Come on, like you know a person, and like you get to know a person throughout different phases of your life. You get to know a person completely, know their good sides and bad sides, but you basically are not just a friend. Like there are feelings developing in that stage.
You're
Like
making up your own
being a
manga or something,
situationship,
mate.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
being a
totally wrong, buddy.
situationship,
Grow up.
it's
I
See,
think I think
like,
the reason is that he's sleepy right now.
wait,
That's
wait,
why
wait,
he
wait,
don't know
wait,
what
wait,
he's
wait. Actually,
speaking.
what Chris said is actually possible, but like, you need to like not act completely as a friend. You need to set yourself distinct
yeah,
from the friendship only part because if you get into the friend zone, then you're done, mate. So you should try to uh,
yes,
get to that border where you are a friend as well. You really talk with that
Yeah, I
person.
think
You
and
get to
Anand is
know
more
that person.
experienced in this stuff,
Yeah, I really know
rejection is
it
part of
personally.
life, and then
Yeah,
he
yeah.
he have more than 1,000 rejections till date.
Sorry, mate, but that's something completely stupid ass. That's not true. Anyway, uh, you see, like you need to get to that border part where you're sort of in that friend part as well, but you're not just a friend. You're something more than that. So if you
mm,
can stay in that border, it's perfect. And yeah, it's a bit tough, man. But like, yeah, I can do
yeah.
that. So maybe you will be able to do that too.
It has to go both sides too. And I think that this is where like being a boy is a bit harsh on us because we normally like. I mean, me personally, whenever I see a girl, the first thing I think of her is like can she be a romantic partner or not, and that is where I set my margin, and most
This
of the
guy is on
times
total different level.
it's a yes, like 60% of the time it's like yes, I would love to hang out with this person, but I think girls are really picky with their choice. Like
Yeah,
they don't fall in love at first
They
sight.
will
I
never
don't, I don't
choose
think
you.
they have those kind of things.
girls get
What I think is
Sorry
attracted
like
for being
girls
honest. Sorry for
yeah,
being
what I
honest.
think is girls develop feelings over
over
time. Like
time. Yeah.
they don't fall in love at first sight, but it's the complete opposite for boys.
They get attracted, but like they don't really fall in love. So it's the same for it's a bit different for boys because they can literally fall in love in first sight. Yeah,
Yeah.
men are simple, man. Men are really simple. It's the
What's
it's the
what's the
woman, it's
what's
the
the
girls who
what's
made
the
it
what's
make
the
it
timing?
tough.
What's the timing for the podcast, guys? We should check the time too,
Should we wrap it
because
up? I
we
think we
can
we would be able to talk a couple of hours more, but like let's continue this next week.
next
Yeah, man.
Monday.
Yeah, let's not make it too long, like 2 hours long or something. I think we did cover a lot of topic today. Not a lot, but like extensive talk on a couple of topics, religion and relationship. That was good.
Such random topics, man. Like, how do you go from religion to romantic relationships, man?
Whatever, man, whatever. We are free to talk whatever we want.
Like,
It's our
somebody who
podcast.
will read the title, he'll be like, religion and then romantic relation. Like, how does it transition that way, you know?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, Chris. I think should we wrap it up? It's been 1 hour already, right?
Yeah, I think let's make it short and sweet. Let's not
Yeah.
exceed 1 hour 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, you can wrap it up, mate. Like the conclusion from this relationship topic is that it differs from for each individual, and
Person,
you basically got to figure out
person to
what's the
person.
best for you.
Relationship
Yeah.
can neither be created nor be
Be
destroyed, but it can
destroyed, but
be
it can.
transferred from one. You can transfer from one people to another.
Yeah.
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 And
Feelings,
it's the
feelings
same
can
thing for
neither be created
religion,
nor
I guess.
destroyed, but it can be transferred from one person to another person.
Yeah.
Himal
So,
Pandey Sarnaam. That's my line from now onward, and
hey, hey, you
people will
Sarma
like
ji.
study this.
Hey, Mr. Sharma.
Yay! Fuck you!
Let's call Iman
Fuck
Sharma from now
you!
on. Mr. Sharma.
No
Yeah,
way.
Himal,
Then we'll start calling like Neuri, Neuri,
come on, Himal
Neuri, Neuri,
Sharma.
Neuri, Neuri, Neuri,
All right,
Neuri.
folks. Whatever.
Why?
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I really want my future self to look at this video and be like, oh, I should think this way, or like, oh, Ananda and
Yeah,
Himal
you're
should think
totally
this
wrong at
way,
that
and
point.
it'll be really fun looking back
Self-realization.
at
I
these
want to look at
opinions
this.
because
I want to look at this video after I marry and I saw my partner. Okay, this is what I thought when I was in my 20s. When I started my 20s, this is what I thought about relationship. Now look at you, girl. I
probably
really
Himal's
got
partner is
I
not
got
going
something
to be
that
happy with him, I guess.
sorry?
Yeah, I think Himal's
Are
partner
you-
is not going to be happy with his
Definitely.
opinions in this
She's
video.
going to give him a
No
Yeah,
couple of
way.
kicks or something like that.
It
yeah,
is what
definitely
it
don't
is,
show
guys.
this to your
I will
future
never be
wife,
afraid of
Himal.
people. It is what it is.
Yeah, we'll see after we
Just
marry, mate.
it is what it is. And then like
Even the lion is scared of
I'm
lioness,
planning to
mate. That's the nature.
I'm planning to get international exposure soon. So no worries, guys. You might get like international wazoo. Oh fuck. That's
All right, we
horrible,
definitely, even if our partners don't watch this, we should make sure Imal's partner watch this after he marries, mate.
huh?
Chris, we should give him the
So
gift.
Yeah.
title
We should play this broadcast in Himal's party, saying that he's going to get
fuck.
international balls
Ah,
or something like that. We definitely should do
Ah
that.
yeah.
fuck guys fuck.
We
I'm
could
totally
clip out the
trapped.
video where Imal says that, "Oh, I don't believe in being committed to a single person. I like trying out new things." And let's show it in his wedding and let's see his face, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
totally fine, buddy. I'm totally fine. Cause
yeah, let's see.
that's the like opinion or like that's the belief of my younger me. So
Young
there is
Himal,
nothing in like
young energetic
yeah,
Himal.
young energy man, you know, guys, young energy man. I don't know you're using
All
your
right, mate.
phone. That's my
Let's wrap
why.
this
All right,
up.
man, we gotta
I
wrap it
think
up, man. Yeah. So, bro, we totally forgot that we talk about religion, man. Come on, guys, be a little religious too, you know.
Come
Why are you so
on.
I don't know.
excited over
You're caught
romantic
in
things?
4K. I just get there to check
Same for
you
you,
because
mate.
you're busy on phone.
Same for you, mate. I also got you. As always.
Yeah, bro, that's horrible, bro. Horrible.
As always,
Oh,
mate. All
I
right,
forgot to
Yeah.
Chris.
mention a stuff. Last week I went to the ISKCON and then like it was like Hare
What
Hare
day?
Krishna
What
Krishna
day?
Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. You see, guys,
Religion.
boys, there were a
Oh,
lot of pretty girls.
good point to add to the topic
Honestly,
of
Come
religion, bro.
on.
But it's too late.
Yeah.
Now we
Too
gotta
late,
wrap it
mate.
up.
well, before
Uh-huh.
wrapping up, I would like to mention about the ISKCON stuff, and then like the chanting goes like Haribol, and
All
then like,
right, Chris,
can you
please wrap it
chant
up,
with me
man.
for the three
We're
times?
just wasting time.
Hare
All right,
Hare
guys.
Krishna
Hope you
Krishna
enjoyed
Hare Hare
our
Hare Rama
opinions
Rama
on
Rama Hare
religion
Hare.
and romantic relationships. And as
Guys,
always,
this
don't forget to
before
be dogmatic. Take into account of our opinions too. Like, I don't know about religion, but definitely take our advice on relationships because we are very experienced. But
Save
yeah,
the
we'll
dude
see
who's
you
got
guys
zero
next week
relationship.
with a different topic,
guys
hopefully.
guys
These
And
people
yes,
had
please,
zero
shut
experience in the
up.
relationship,
And
man.
this is it. Please wrap up. This is the end
guys
of the
guys please
video.
please
Peace
please
out.